Hey everyone, this is Micah from Cali LED. Today I'm going to show you how to install our third generation Toyota Tundra rock sliders. In this kit, you'll receive your rock sliders along with filler plates if you got them. The hardware that you'll need is going to be several different half-inch bolts with different lengths, with washers and lock nuts, some snap nuts as well as some M8 bolts and washers. You'll also receive these brackets. They'll be used in different areas, and these snap nut plates. And then the tools that you're going to need are going to be a 12mm, 13mm, and 3/4 inch socket, and a 3/4 inch wrench. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so we're going to start with the passenger side first, and there's a few things that we need to do on the frame first before we get the slider up there. So first there's going to be 2 bolts, and there's going to be several plastic frame plugs that we need to get out. So this is one of the bolts here. The second bolt is down there. So we'll just loosen both those up, get them out, but keep them both handy because we're going to be reusing them. There's also going to be frame plugs in these larger holes as well. You can either take them out using a flat blade screwdriver or just kind of crack them open and break them. You're probably not going to use them again. So yeah, once you get those out and once we take these 2 bolts off, we'll be ready to bring the slider over. All right, so as you can see, I've got the slider under here ready to start getting bolted up. I'm going to first use those 2 bolts that we just took out of the frame. I'm just going to use these and get them slightly in there to hold the slider up, and then we'll get some more bolts in after that. All right, so once we get those 2 bolts just to hold the slider up a little bit, I still like to keep my support. We're going to use our 5 M8 bolts, and we're going to be putting them on from the bottom. All right, now that we have our smaller hardware in, it's time to get our half-inch bolts. So there's also going to be 3 backing plates that you'll need, and there's 2 snap nuts that you're going to need as well. So these go into these square holes. So basically you just want to pinch these together, put one side in, and then push, and it should snap in like that. So we're going to start with the back, and we'll just move to the front. There's going to be 3 that go through. All right, as you can see, I'm underneath the truck, and we're at the rearmost hole. And you're going to want to use this square backing plate with a snap nut in it. And frame side will be this side. So kind of slide that up a little bit. And then you'll slide the bolt through. You can kind of see where the bolt comes through on the back side. And then get it into that snap nut. All right, and lastly is going to be the frontmost hole. And you'll be using this plate with the round hole. And then you'll also be using another washer and nut for the backside. All right, so we're actually under a hybrid now. So this is only specific for the hybrid model. This very front plate works a little bit differently because the through hole, you can't have access from this side. So you're going to use this bracket, the kind of Z-shaped one that we mentioned at the beginning. You're going to slide it up over the frame, and then we'll be using 2 bolts, one on this side and then one on the front side, and it'll clamp the plates together. All right, so on this hole up here, this one with the half-inch bolt will go all the way through the frame. We're going to be using this bracket, and you're going to put a snap nut in on the opposite side as where the flange goes out. It's going to sneak up and capture where that half-inch bolt is going to move. All right, now that we've got all the bolts in, it's time to just go through each one more time and make sure they're fully secure, and then we can move on to the driver's side. All right, so we're on the driver's side now. There's only a couple things that prep the frame with. There are gonna be some frame plugs on this side as well. So get your flat blade screwdriver or just break those out. And there aren't any bolts to take out, so once you get those, then we're ready to rock and roll. All right, so one thing to keep in mind when you're putting these driver's side sliders on is there's these brake lines running above the top of the frame. And we do have a flange on our slider that's gonna slide in between these. So as you're lifting it up, you're gonna wanna kinda angle it, and then we'll angle it up, and then we'll push it all the way through. All right, so now that it's kind of up in place, the flanges are over. The first two things I like to start with is this plate. This one has a hole in the middle, as you can see, and this shaped plate. So basically, we're just gonna get our 1/2-inch bolts through the frame. We're gonna kind of sit it up with these, and then we'll go ahead and get the rest of our hardware in. All right, so we're at the rear of the slider, and this is the plate that we're gonna use. The flange is gonna be towards the center of the frame. All right, as you can see, it's a little tight in here with the exhaust, but we'll get everything fit up still. So I'm gonna get my bolt through. I'll get this guy up there, get that hole in there, grab my washer, got my nut. I'll go ahead and get that nut just started on there. All right, and last but not least is the last front one on the driver's side. We're going to use another one of these round plates with a round hole, and you'll need another washer and lock nut for the backside. All right, that concludes the installation for the third generation Toyota Tundra rock sliders. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please visit www.caliracedled.com and order yours today.